request dignitaries to come on the dais and welcome them with a round of applause. Please be seated. Respected dignitaries on the dais, esteemed professors and heads of various departments, faculties, my friends and participants from various reputed institutions, good morning to all of you for the 3-day national level symposium on application of image processing technique in the field of electronics communication and civil engineering, sponsored by Science and Engineering Research Board DSD for the day one inaugural function organized at Mysuru by ATME College of Engineering. I, Kusuma M, final year E&C department, will be comparing today's event. Let's begin this auspicious occasion with a prayer. I would like to call upon Bhumika MS, 7th SEM EC department to invoke the blessings of God.
विनायकं सिद्धिविनायकं चिन्तयाम्यहं प्रसिद्धगणनायकं विशिष्टार्थदायकं वरं सिद्धिविनायकम् यक्ष किन्नरादिसेवितं सिद्ध यक्ष किन्नरादिसेवितम् अखिल जगत् प्रसिद्ध यक्ष किन्नरादिसेवितम् सिद्धिविनायकम् भाद्रपदमास चतुर्थ ब्राह्मणादि पूजितं पाशाङ्कुशधरं छत्रचामर परिवीजितं रौद्र भावरहितं दासजन हृदय विराजितं रौहिणेय नूजार्चितं इहना वर्जितम् अग्निराजसुतात्मजम् अनन्तगुरुगुहात्मजं भद्रप्रदपदाम्बुजं भासमान चतुर्भुजं सिद्धिविनायकम् चिन्तयाम्यहं प्रसिद्धगणनायकं विशिष्टार्थदायकं वरं सिद्धिविनायकम्
Thank you, Bhumika, for the delightful invocation. It is an honor to address this distinguished gathering on this auspicious occasion. I now request Mrs. Jocelyn F., Assistant Professor and Co-Convener of this event, Department of EC, to welcome this gathering.
Good morning, one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and participants, I, Justin F., co-convener of the event, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, delighted to welcome you all to the 3-day National Symposium on Applications of Image Processing Technique in the field of electronic communication and civil engineering. First and foremost, I would like to extend a heartfelt welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Shrikant T., Program Manager, Embedded Systems, L&T Technology, Mysuru. We welcome you, sir. I extend my heartfelt welcome to today's keynote speaker, Dr. Dwarkish GS, Professor, NITK Surathkal. We welcome you, sir. I extend a warm welcome to our beloved principal, Dr. A.K. Murthy, ATM College of Engineering, Mysuru. We welcome you, sir. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. L. Basavaraj, IQAC Director and Head, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. We welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. Bhagyashree S.R., Dean Research, to this inaugural ceremony. We welcome you, ma'am. I welcome Dr. Etisha L., Dean Student Affairs, to this inaugural ceremony. We welcome you, sir. I welcome Mr. Manu Vijay, HOD, Department of Civil Engineering, to this inaugural ceremony. We welcome you, sir. I welcome Mr. Puneet, Convener, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, to this event. I welcome Mr. Srivatsa, Co-Convener, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, to this inaugural ceremony. I welcome you, sir. I welcome heads of various departments to this inaugural ceremony. We welcome you, sir. I also welcome staff members and student participants from various colleges to this inaugural ceremony. Thank you. Happy learning.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm welcoming. Brightness and prosperity are the symbols of light. It is a positive force that removes darkness. Light is the divinity of life. It shows the right direction of life. With this holy thought, let us begin this event. I request dignitaries on the dais to kindle the flame of enlightenment and officially inaugurate our event.
कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापम् सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तु ते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः आरोग्यं देहि पुत्रांश्च मतिं स्वच्छां मे सदा रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् यस्य तिष्ठेत् गृहे दीपः तस्य नास्ति दरिद्रता शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम्
Thank you, dignitaries. Now I request Mr. Puneet K., convener of this event, Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering, to read about the symposium.
Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, and fellow attendees. I, Puneet K., Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, being the convener, gives me an immense pleasure and a great honor to welcome you all to this 3-day national level symposium on application of image processing technique in the field of electronic communication and Civil Engineering, which will be held from 6th to 8th November 2023. We have gathered here with a common purpose to engage in meaningful discussions, share knowledge, and explore new horizons in the field of image processing. The objective of the 3 day symposium is to educate the audience about the importance of image processing techniques in the fields of electronic communication, civil engineering, and also about the recent advancements in the usage of image processing technique in the field of engineering. The event is sponsored by Science and Engineering Research Board, Department of Science, Technology, and also Management of ATMEC. I am grateful for them providing us an opportunity in conducting this event. To brief about this event, total number of participants registered is around 220, out of which 180 students and 40 faculty have registered to this event from host and other institutes. On 6th of November 2023, after inauguration, a keynote address will be delivered by Dr. Dwarkis GS, Professor, NITK Suratkar. Post-lunch, competitions such as quiz and poster presentation will be held for students of civil engineering. On 7th November 2023, a keynote address will be delivered by Dr. Anita Raghavendra, Specialist Learning Infosys, Mysuru. Post-lunch, competition such as quiz and poster presentation will be held for EC students. On 8th of November 2023, keynote address will be delivered by Dr. Vivek Padmanabha, Assistant Professor, IIT Guwahati, followed by valedictory function. I hope that each of you will leave here with fresh perspectives, actionable insights, and a network of valuable connection. I also want to acknowledge the attendees as your active participation is key to the success of this symposium. Ask questions, engage in discussion, and take full advantage of the opportunities to connect with your fellow participants. I would like to express my gratitude to all our speakers, guests, management, principal, deans, heads of EC and civil department, staff members, and faculty coordinators for their cooperation to make this event a reality. Let's make the most of the symposium and strive to bring out the positive change in our respective fields. Thank you for being part of the symposium. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all of you and look forward to stimulating the enriching discussion that lie ahead. Wishing you everyone a happy stay in ATME. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. Vishwa, student of Civil Department, to introduce our today's chief guest, Dr. Shrikant T, Program Manager, Embedded System, L&T Technology Services, Mysore. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Respected dignitaries. I am Vishwas, final year Civil Engineering Department. It is my privilege to introduce Dr. Shrikant T, chief guest of today's inaugural function, to the gathering. Sir has graduated in Electronics and Communication Engineering from PES College, Mandya in the year 2008. Later, Sir has pursued his Master's in Biomedical Signal Processing from SJCE, Mysuru in the year 2011 and secured second rank. He was awarded with Doctorate in Electronics, Signal and Image Processing from University of Mysuru in the year 2016. Sir has 12 plus years of blended experience in industry, research and training. Sir has expertise in audio DSP algorithm development, optimization and porting with expertise in MATLAB scripting, model-based design using Simulink, embedded code generation, code replacement library, embedded C, MIL, SIL, PIL, and HIL verification of model-based design, and many more. He holds degrees such as Diploma in Yoga Shastra, PG Diploma in Yoga, MA in English and Kannada. He is currently pursuing MBA. Sir worked as a lecturer at GSS Polytechnic for Women, Mysuru. He worked as application developer at IBM India Private Limited, Bangalore. Sir worked as an assistant professor in ENC department, SJCE, Mysuru. He worked as project manager, specialist in digital signal processing in embedded platform and platform software at L&T Technology Services, Mysuru. Sir has published 60 plus articles in peer-reviewed journals and conferences. He currently holds 2 patents. He has received 12 lakh rupees grant from CSIR for PhD research work. He has published 4 books to which he co-authored, and he has more than 12 certificates. Presently, Sir is working as program manager, senior specialist in digital signal processing in embedded platform and platform software at L&T Technology Services, Mysuru. It is a pleasure to have you, sir, on this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishwas. I extend my heartfelt welcome to Dr. Govindegoda Ji, Dean Academics, ATMCE, Mysore. Now I request dignitaries on the dais to felicitate our today's esteemed chief guest, Dr. Srikanti. Thank you, dignitaries. I call upon Sagari, student of EC department, to give an introduction of today's keynote speaker, Dr. Dwarakesh GS, Professor NITK Suratkal.
I, Sagari, it's my privilege to welcome Dr. Dwakesh GS, hails from Mandya Taluk and district. Completed his early education in Dwargiri and received his BTech degree in Civil Engineering 1990. MTech Hydraulics in 1993, both from the National Institution of Engineering, Mysuru, University of Mysuru, Karnataka, and PhD degree in 2001 from the Institution of Remote Sensing, Anna University in Chennai, India. He has started his teaching career during 1993 as an assistant lecturer and currently is serving as a professor, Department of Water Resources and Ocean Engineering. His area of specification are coastal engineering, remote sensing, digital image processing, GIS. He has guided 16 BTech project, 60 MTech dissertation, 8 MS project, and 14 PhD scholars. Currently guiding a one batch of BTech project, yes, 5 MS project, and 9 PhD scholars. He has completed his 6 R&D project founded by MHRD, DST, ISRO, Respond, ICMAM, PD, and MOEF, and currently execution one project. He has published 280 plus technology paper in international and national journals and conference. He has a guest in chief of a special issue of an remote sensing and GIS application of international journals of Earth Science and in Engineering guide editor of an Aqua published by an elsewhere. Dr. Dwakesh has also served as a Assistant Dean Student Affairs, Dean Planning and Development Faculty in Charge Testing and Consultancy, DY Coordinator NIE Goa, and Head of the Department Applied Mechanics and Hydraulic Chairman of Institution Grievance Reserves Committee and Chairman of an Staff Recreation Club. He is a Fellow of Institution of Engineering, India, Indian Water Resources Society, Life Member of an Indian Society, Technical Education India, Society of an Geometric, India Society of Remote Sensing, Indian Assistance of Hydraulic Karnataka Environment Resources Foundation, Viveka Sampada and Karnataka Sahitya Parishad. He is also one of the fourth member of panel of an national aspects of review, the ADB Coastal Erosion Project. He had visited Australia, Canada, Italy, Japan, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, USA, research in action for a presentation of a research paper. He is a recipient of a professor of Satish Dhawan Young Engineer State Award for the year 2013, instituted by a government of Karnataka. He recognized outstanding contribution to the field of engineering science and Venus International Faculty Award for the year 2016, instituted by the Venus Education Foundation, Chennai, in the recognition of outstanding contribution to the field of cost and academic excellency, instituted by the Aqua Foundation, New Delhi. Indo-US Custom of Engineering Education Faculty Award in 2016 for an outstanding teaching and academic achievement. Sir M. Vishweshwaraya Engineering Award for the 2016. Sir, we privileged to have you here.
Thank you, Sagari. Now I request dignitaries on the dais to felicitate today's keynote speaker, Dr. Dwarakesh GS, Professor NITK Surat. Thank you, dignitaries. Now I request Dr. Shrikant T, Program Manager, Embedded Systems, L&T Technology Services, Mysore, to address the gathering.
Very good morning, everyone. I should be a faculty of civil engineering, it seems, to get the response, right? Because with the kind of welcome you gave for the civil engineering faculties, I think we should rename this program as Applications of Image Processing only to civil engineering, right? Right. So on the lighter note, so dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and my dear rank friends. So it's my pleasure and privilege to inaugurate this distinguished symposium, 3-day national symposium on application of image processing techniques in the field of electronics, communication, and civil engineering. I owe my gratitude to the Institute for having invited me to inaugurate this event. So at the outset, I work in L&T Technology Services as a program manager where I take care of multiple projects in the domain of signal processing. So this area of image processing is a branch of signal processing, right? So we work for automotive customers. So since most of you are from civil engineering, I try to make it simple. So I work for a team called as Audio Experience Team. You guys might have heard of surround processing, or if you go inside the theater, you might have heard of Dolby effects, right? Given the stereo inputs, so our team is responsible for converting those stereo inputs into a surround output or the Dolby output, whatever you call. So other interesting features, I think you can experience all these features inside a car, right? But not on the, I don't see much of those cars on the Indian roads. But our main customers are Porsche, GM, and Volvo, right? So there is something called as engine harmonic cancellation. So what is engine harmonic cancellation? If there are people who look for, or there are OEMs who look for noise-free cabin, right? They don't want any outside noise coming in, whether it may be engine noise or road noise. So we have features called as engine harmonic cancellation, which cancels the engine harmonics and it makes the cabin zero noise, and road noise cancellation. So you get the road noise, I mean the friction of the tires on the road, right? So we work on those things as well, cancelling the road noise, right? And you might have heard of these chime systems inside the car. If you are not wearing the seat belts, you will get a different tone, right? As soon as you wear the seat belt, the tone will go off, right? So we work on those state machines, whether it may be a parking signaling or whether the doors are opened, right? So basically we work on in the area of DSP, catering to the various needs of the OEMs in the domain of signal processing. So there is another team which works on image processing. So I'll come to that later. And nowadays the trend is the software defined vehicles. So the challenges what we are facing is, you guys know that there are different variants in a car. If you take a car, there is a basic model, mid-end, and the top variant, right? So if you take an example of Maruti, LXI, VXI, ZXI, there are so many variants. So the challenge is we need to port our algorithms on the different hardwares. Previously we were working on analog devices. Based on the cost of the car, we are using different processors, a lower-end processor to higher-end processor, because high-end cars will get more features and lower-end cars will have less features, right? So we are using the different processors based on the car variant. So gone are the days. So now software-defined vehicles is the trend. So where we use the same hardware and the same software. Previously, the software is different and the hardwares are different. Now we have the same software and the hardware sitting on all the variants, right? You can buy it as a basic variant, but assume if you need cruise control for a day, you can subscribe and the software will get enabled only for that particular day and you can use, right? So it's a base car variant, but which has all the variants of the top end, right? You can subscribe on a daily basis or whenever it is needed, right? For example, what are features I'm telling? If you wanted Dolby effects inside the car, otherwise you have only 4 speakers, left, right, front, back, right? So we work on a car where it has got 12 channels, 16 channels, right? Which gives the surround content effect. So there will be speakers on top of the head so that, and also we have some features called as sleeping baby and sleeping beauty, right? Sleeping baby, sleeping beauty. I think this is only for the married persons. So assume if your wife is sitting to her left, right? And she is not liking whatever the audio you are playing, right? So we have a feature so that they can nowadays we are getting headrest speakers, right? On the sides of your seats, right? Whatever that is being played in your speaker, so your wife can hear only those things. or if she doesn't want to hear anything, they can switch off, right? So they will not hear anything in those speakers. So that is called as sleeping beauty, sleeping baby. So babies will always sleep in the back. So we fade the outputs in such a way that they do not hear anything at the back side of the speakers, and only the front sides are enabled. So these are different features. So if you want to enjoy all these features in basic car, so the trend is software defined vehicles, right? So because time to market was also varying in the previous architecture, right? Having different hardwares, different softwares, enabling, disabling the features, right? So now that is the trend. So hope all of you guys know that the ADAS is the future. So we have already L2 cars on the road where we have adaptive cruise control. I mean, we had only cruise control till date. Adaptive cruise control means it will look for there will be a camera technology which will look for the cars moving in your front or in the back, and it adjusts the speed accordingly, right? So the car which is moving in your front may be going at a different speed, and if you want to change the lane, right? So you should look at that speed and the whatever that is coming ahead, and then the lane departure should happen. So all those are L3 features, and you guys know that the ADAS, the top end is L5, where we have a fully autonomous car, right? I think that doesn't work for our Indian road conditions. So you have more scope for research, because you know that the speed breakers are more here and the potholes are more. So you can come up with a camera technology which can capture all those stuff and indicate in prior that there is a speed breaker or the pothole, and which can autonomously brake accordingly, right? So the trend is software defined vehicles. So what I'm telling is, instead of doing the traditional research, which doesn't fetch many things, right? So I go to the most of the examination, whether it may be BTech, MTech or PhD. Still, I see most of the projects on optic cup segmentation, optic disc segmentation, right? I don't know whether the doctor still needs that solutions or not, right? So my urge is, convert research into reality. Don't do some research or don't do some work which just sits on the paper or just sits on the thesis, right? It should come up with the POCs, right? And you can approach the industries. They are definitely able to fund. So why I'm telling is, we were working on analog devices till date, right? And now the trend is Qualcomm hexagon processors, and different OEMs are asking to put our algorithms on the different processors like Samsung, Texas Instruments, right? It's a very quite challenging task, because whatever the code we have written will work on one processor very well, right? But if I try to port that onto a different processor, it will not fit at all, right? Because we something called as MIPS is there, million instructions per second, whatever that our algorithm needs. So the other processor cannot cater that into. So we need to optimize the code, right? So this all relates to time to market. So time to market is extending because we could not fit our algorithm so fast onto the different platform which OEM is asking for, because outside the competition is very huge, right? So time to market is one stuff. So what I urge is, whatever you do, whether it's an image processing task or, for example, civil engineering field, I got to know that image processing is the very high unexplored area, right? Structural health monitoring is the one which is coming up. And I found that there are only 600 plus publications in the peer-reviewed journals. So which indicates that this is the area which is less focused. I think the faculties from civil engineering and electronics or computer science should go for interdisciplinary research, where you can give inputs to the computer science or or the electronics engineers about what is your requirement. For example, if you want to analyze the cracks in the building, right? The length, the width, or the direction of the crack, and that image processing system or the camera technology can be employed, right? Even for any deformation on the asphalting, right? So all those can be employed. The one advantage with camera technology is, in order to measure those deformations, we do not need any physical touching physically the whatever the whether it may be wall or whatever it may be. So it can be used without touching the physical things, right? So that is one advantage. So coming to image processing, in L&T we work mostly on the medical domain, on the oncology part, right? Bronchoscopy, right? And colonoscopy. So we take the 2D images and we reconstruct the 3D images, and there is one project now which does a 3D virtual guide for the doctor, right? How to move in the colonoscopy, right? So it goes to the cancer, how to get into the cancer region, how to segment and find the prognosis of the disease, right? So all these are coming up, right? In those are the research avenues. ADAS is the one which you can take care of always, right? For example, here itself, you want to take the attendance, just one snapshot is enough. If you take one picture, if you do segmentation, it will tell how many number of people are seated in this. So what I meant is take some real-time projects instead of doing some traditional projects which your seniors did, and try to, as much as possible, try to fit it on a device, right? Otherwise, it is of no use. If it sits just on the PC, you cannot exhibit to the many, right? Try to write the code on the hardware, right? Because I don't see much of the, why I see the more gap between the industry and academia is this. Academia does research, but it will not take it up to the product stage or or on the hardware, right? If you guys take that to the hardware level, and I think you can definitely approach industries asking for the projects, because we get to know that you guys have done something on this platform. Definitely, you can do it on a different platform, right? So once something is done on the one platform, so taking it to a different platform is not a big issue, right? So on that note, I want each of you to try to convert your the research into reality, right? So my humble request to the faculties is, please try to demo your projects to your students, so that because they will come with a plethora of questions, so which may give insights for more research. So that's what, because these days young minds have more, because myself and my guide were talking, I mean my boss. So these today's guys comes with Python and Python in the pockets, right? So we were trained on Python for the 2 months, 3 months, right? But those are gone are the days, right? So today's students are very good at all these skills. So I request, and I request students to go through image processing online, IPOL, right? So that is the only journal where along with the article, they publish the source code as well, right? So you can download the source code. I was going through yesterday one of the, because from past 5 years, I'm not working in the domain of image processing. I'm into 1D signal processing. So that is the journal. Please make a note, IPOL, even the faculties, right? They give the source code. You can download the source code and you can run those source code to check, and they will attach the PPT along with the demo, right? So which most of us do not do. We just get constrained to the paper. So that source code and the demo both are attached in that journal. So if you want to add anything on top of that, definitely there is a scope for you guys as young minds. I think with that note, I would like to convey my thanks again to the management of ATME College of Engineering. Hope you guys will have very good learning in this coming 3 days, because the hallmarks in the domain of applications of image processing to these two fields will be talking to you guys. Hope you will have a great learning in these 3 days, and this will be a landmark for all of you to go ahead in the domain of image processing and solve some more global challenges. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving insights on trends in image processing. Now I request our beloved principal, Dr. A.K. Murthy, to give our presidential address.
Morning. Morning. Wake up, is it? Now, of course, for today's inaugural function, we here for application of image processing technique in the field of electronics and communication and civil engineering. I'll coming to the point to that one later. So our today's chief guest, Dr. Srikant ji, has given a very good, insight and how the students to take up the project and what is that area and how they can concentrate, how they can, convert their project to products. Sir. And today's presidential address supposed to be from our Honorable Chairman, L. Arun Kumar. In his absence here, I am taking the privilege of this. Our Honorable Secretary, K. Shivshankar, Honorable Treasurer, R. Viresh, and of course, our guest of honor, Dwakish GS, and advisory committee of this event, Dr. S.R. Bhagyashree Madam, Dean Research, Dr. L. Basuraj, IQAC Director, and Mr. Manu Vijay, Head of the Department Civil Engineering, Convener Puneet K, Co-Conveners Srivatsa and Madam Jocelyn, and our own Dean Academics, Dr. Govind Gowda ji, and all the heads of the department, senior professors, my colleagues, my student friends. So having said that, I was discussing with one of our colleagues. Now we are living in a heterogeneous, in the sense interdisciplinary, subject or interdisciplinary project. Nothing is limited to any branch like other electronics or computer science or civil engineering or mechanical engineering. Now it is wide open, any student, and actually those students studying in the core engineering, they have more advantages. They are learning the core engineering like civil, mechanical, or electrical, or any other engineering. And also, they can acquaint with the knowledge of this computer science or related subjects so that they can know better off than what the discipline, exactly they are studying. This is the fact actually. In the worldwide, they are from different sectors, different disciplines. People are working in different areas. I want to be just a civil engineer. No. We are no longer just existing as civil engineer. Civil engineers also adopted elsewhere. Electronics engineers, electrical engineers. So it is open system. It is open to everyone. So you can excel in all the areas. It is interdisciplinary. Let us understand this first. Let me congratulate the Electronics and Civil Engineering Department of ATME College of Engineering on behalf of management and all the faculties, principal, deans, for the conducting this such event. And I wish they conduct many more in the coming years. I wish them all the success. Thank you for participants from outside and inside. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Manu Vijay, Head Department of Civil Engineering, to render vote of thanks.
Good morning. We are happy to host 3-day national level symposium on application on image processing techniques in the field of electronic communication and civil engineering. This symposium is a unique opportunity for engineering aspirants from civil and electronics disciplines to come together and learn from each other. In addition to our technical sessions, we also have networking events and social activities. These are great opportunities to meet new people and collaborate on future projects. My special thanks to our sponsors, Science and Engineering Research Board, DST, and management of ATME College of Engineering for providing an opportunity to organize this event by sponsoring 3-day symposium. My sincere thanks to Dr. Dwakish GS, Professor from NITK Surathkal, for being our keynote speaker. Thank you, sir. I thank our chief guest, Dr. Shrikant T, Program Manager, Embedded System, L&T Technology Service, Mysore. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt thank to Chairman Sri L. Arun Kumar, sir, for the support given to organize this symposium. Thank you, sir. I extend my thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. A.K. Murthy, sir, for support given to organize this symposium. Thank you, sir. I extend my sincere thanks to IQAC Director, Dr. L. Basuraj. Thank you, sir. I extend my thanks to Dean Academic, Dr. M.S. Govindagoda, sir. Thank you, sir. And also extend thanks to Dean Research, Madam, Dr. Bhagyashree, sir. And I extend my thanks to Dean Student Affairs, Dr. Yatish L. Thank you, sir. I also thanks various heads of department teaching fraternity for their support. I congratulate and thank the conveyor, Mr. Puneet K, co-conveyor, Mr. Srivasa HU, and Ms. Jaslyn F, for their tireless effort in organizing this symposium. Thank you, ma'am. I thank all the various committee members, faculty, students, and staff from various institutes and present media. I wish you all a very happy stay at ATMAC and have a valuable takeaways. Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you, sir. Now I request dignitaries to occupy the front row to address the keynote speaker.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank ATME organization as well as institute and other professors and also you all for inviting me over here to speak on digital